Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy.
I'm Paz.
And this is our obligatory, sort of contractually obliged top 10, because everyone has to do one at the end of the year,
Yeah.
Either the very beginning of the year or the very end of the year.
And great clickbait as well.
Yes,
Top
absolutely.
10.
Brilliant clickbait. So
everyone can argue, like, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. So we've both got a top 10, and we have different rules about how we came about the top 10. Because I've been here all year, I've set some rules for myself that says my top 10 is bands that I have discovered through this channel this year. So if you were at 31st of December last year, you're not in, I'm afraid. So basically things that I have discovered this year, usually by somebody recommending it, to be honest. Whereas, of course, you've arrived in October.
Yeah, but mine's a top 10. Not if everything's been released this year, but it's what I've discovered this year.
Right, so some of them may have been released last year.
Well, that's a few years
Well,
ago.
to be honest,
a
lot of mine was probably released before this year.
It's my top 10 albums of the year, but they might not have been released this year. It's what I've been listening to the most and been dominating my playlists all year.
And nothing gets people more upset than saying your top 10 and putting them in some kind of order and saying this is not above this, or this is above this, and everyone going, no, that can't be true. So yeah, brilliant clickbait. So everyone who's watching this, thank you very much. And B, brilliant for starting intense arguments. The other thing about my top 10 though is only the number one is in order. So basically I have a favourite album of the year, but the other 9 in my top 10, they're all kind of different. So to put one above the other makes no sense to me, because they're not comparable. You got power metal and death metal. How can you say one's better, and what's better mean anyways? Because it's all subjective. So I have a number one, what my favourite thing of this year is. So the other 9 things I will say isn't 10 to 2. It's just the other 9 things out of a top 10 of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, mine are fairly interchangeable. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. But
yeah,
when I was doing this was the mood I was in when I did my.
Yeah. So we've got all our excuses out of the way.
Yeah.
Before just to head off some of the arguing. So who wants to start? Should we do one each as we go?
Alternate. Okay.
So So mine are is only bands that I've discovered through this channel this year. There you go. Who's going first?
You go first.
Okay. Like I say, these are not in order except for my number one. So Cellar Darling was a band I knew nothing about until this year.
You're welcome.
Fair enough. And then I heard 6 Days, saw the video on this channel, and I was just mesmerised by it. It was just, I think it was like such a different. It was different to what I was expecting, but it was also just different in itself. In that I thought, oh, good grief, this is a thing. This is something new and great quality. So Cellar Darling is in my top 10 of the year. Obviously, anything I mention you can go and find on my channel. But
their album was in my top 10 last year. It was terrific.
Right.
Terrific. There you go.
Terrific. Password.
Because it's got sort of commercially sounding songs. It's got proggy songs like 6 Days. It's got some rocking stuff in it. It was a really well balanced album with some terrific performances. I said terrific again, didn't I? Yeah. I
mean terrific, but you just say terrific. Terrific. Anyway, who am I to pick people up? I say all sorts of terrible things. You go. It's going to be a long video.
Well enough, there wasn't any room for like Tremonti or Coheed and Cambry in here, which I'm very surprised about.
Right.
I couldn't fit him in. this year.
And they don't count in mine because I already knew they were. So
number 10 is The Conjuring by Elven Storm.
Oh, okay.
Which you have done a song of. I don't think you're blown away by it, but I think as a whole, it seems like old-fashioned speed metal.
One of the problems with doing this is you hear one song in isolation, and again, sometimes it's how you feel on the day when you're listening to it. You're not in the mood for power metal, and you're listening to power metal songs, so you kind of go, yeah, it's power metal, isn't it? You know. So yeah.
My favourite song off is Devil Within. Very good.
Devil Within.
It's sort of they gave the drummer, okay, you must drum at 180 beats per minute. Away you go. We'll do that for every song.
The whole album.
It's just great. It's just it's something to enjoy. And it was the album was a long time coming because I really liked their first couple of albums. And this one slightly better produced, I would say, and delivered.
Right.
I really enjoyed it.
Maybe I should definitely give it more of a go then. Next one, like I say, not in order. Ninganisu. Without this channel, there's no way in a million years I would have heard of Ninganisu.
I'm surprised, as I thought they'd be higher.
No, it's not in. This isn't in an order. Mine aren't in order.
Of course, yeah.
These are the top. These 9, 10 to 2 are just 9.
Oh, your random 9 are wrong then. Cause that's
okay. You've randomly done it wrong. Yeah. So yeah, mine are not in order until I get to my number 1. So what is my favourite album of the year? That's the thing. But Ninganisu, it was. I'm going to say this over and over probably, but again, something I'd never heard of, had no expectations of, played. I can't remember what the first video I did, but Namahage really kind of nailed it for me, and I kept telling people to listen to it. You know, I kept saying, listen to this, and kind of forcing it on people, and that's definitely a red flag for how much you like something, isn't it? When you start forcing it on people, even if you think they won't like it, you just wanted them to hear it. Listen to this. And Ninganisu is just, I've got 3 of their albums. It wasn't easy to get hold of those, you know, and it's just a delight. The Japanese Rush, they've got this, you know, massive history, and it's like it just shouldn't work when you look at it, but they just effortlessly pull the whole thing off. I love Ninganisu, and you like Ninganisu, don't you?
Yeah, tremendous. I think there'll be a bit of crossover for your list and my list in regards to Ninganisu. What a find, though! What a find.
Yep.
My number 9 is Attack on Titan by Epica, and I know it's only an EP, but I played the hell out of it. I thought it was terrific.
It's a massive piece of work.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the original. I think they've done a really good version of the original music, but I mean, I'm a big Epica fan anyway. They're always in the top 10s, and they're very prolific. Really like the band, but Attack on Titan, it's just great. Just really liked it.
Yeah, I've been listening to it and thinking, cracky, how much work has gone into this? Because it is such a complex. I mean, I don't know what the original's like, so I haven't got a comparison. But listening to what they've made, you know, you think, wow, this is a lot of work, you know, and so well done, and it doesn't get boring, which it could do because they're pretty long pieces of music, aren't they? But yeah, I
mean, the EP is only 20-25 minutes.
Is it really? Because it feels longer.
There's a lot of music crammed in.
Yeah, a lot crammed in. Yeah, so maybe that's my perception then.
But it was funny. There's a sort of a ballady one. I can't remember the name of it. I was going to choose that when I was on the radio doing a radio interview about my writing. I thought, well, that'd be a nice one.
He was on the radio and doing a radio interview. The
second half.
Just thought I'd drop that one in.
The second half of the second half of the song, just because that'll probably scare all the grannies to death who are probably listening.
Yeah, Paz did a radio interview, and they made the mistake of saying, and recommend some songs that were played during the interview.
They said, recommend 6, please.
so you can imagine it, like, okay, radio audience, you're for it now. Yeah, I can just imagine you turning up with like, This one's a song by Cattle Decapitation.
I did manage to get Deadlock on
Right.
some like death metal on, but it was just a piano ballad.
When I heard it, it was the recording, and all the music was cut out.
Yeah,
So I only heard all of the interview. I didn't hear the songs themselves. So, but the DJ, he'd be like, come back, and you go, yes, well, that was that was a song. He had that kind of tone of voice that said, I'm not sure what I just listened to.
I had to choose all radio friendly stuff. I refused to compromise on the bands, but I was happy to compromise on the
you pick the more radio friendly or whatever songs. Yeah, because you can't expect people to listen to extreme metal. They're just not ready.
But if like Deadlock did a piano ballad one, it's still music that Deadlock made. I'm a fan of that, so I thought that was fair rather than saying, oh yeah, let's put some Bon Jovi on or something like that. Because I don't listen to Bon Jovi.
Now for a time for a bit of metal. Shot through the heart. Anyway,
moving on.
Next one for me, a band called Lost Domain. Put out an album called In the Waiting Room of Death. You and I both bought it immediately after hearing one song. There is not a bad song on that album. The whole album is excellent stuff, fantastically recorded. The lady's voice, the lady singer on it, has got this amazing voice, and the music is just superb. And I want that drum sound that drummer has on that album. So Lost Domain in the Waiting Room of Death. I was listening to it yesterday. Just thinking this is just great. As I'm
huge sound
dancing around the kitchen doing some food or whatever. It's got a huge sound, and obviously all of mine, because they're things I've discovered on this channel. It's just great stuff that's just popped out of nowhere for me.
That was a real surprise, that, because you knew nothing about it.
Except to have Bjorn Strid guesting on it, of course. So, but he's on everything, isn't he? That first song we heard, he was on that. But that Lost Domain, definitely one of my finds of the year. So
cool.
It's just going to go on forever.
My number 8 is The Fallen King by Frozen Crown. We've just done a video by them.
Indeed.
Neverwinter. I remember getting it when I heard the song Kings. I thought, ooh, that's good, that. And I have to admit to being a little bit disappointed when I first heard it, but I kept going back to it, and it was a bit of a grower. And I just kept going back to it and going back to it. Because there's some amazing songs on it. The last one just sounds straight out of the Children of Bodom handbook. It was just tremendous. And I think there's one called Shield Maiden, which is so fast. And then I think after I got in my initial sort of out of the way, I got to appreciate it for actually what it is, rather than what it wasn't.
Right.
Because I went in with preconceptions, thinking it would all sound like Kings, and it didn't. But what it was some fast, intense power metal with tons of melody over the top. The Fallen King, fall in love with it. Over the year.
I really like what I've heard of Frozen Crown. I haven't got the album, so I can't comment on the whole album. But what I've heard of them,
So I wasn't expecting the Children of Bodom ishness, so I think, that's sort of caught me off guard a little bit. I thought, but because of the strength of the songs, the strength of the melodies, and the strength of the performances, I just kept on going back to it, and it eventually made my top 10.
Alrighty then. Next one I've got on my list is The Gazette, Japanese band.
I don't know these.
Do you not know The Gazette?
No.
It was one of those where somebody recommends a video to you, and you've no idea what you're going to get, as you don't most of the time. But what I did get was my ears blown off by this Japanese band that does that thing where they're a visual kei band, which doesn't mean anything about the style of music, does it? But they have that thing where they mix extreme metal and then this incredibly melodic, almost pop chorus, but somehow they make it work, you know, and then they'll stop and go off in a slightly different direction and whatever, and it's very, very creative. So I went out and bought Dogma, the album, from a record shop, and because they still exist somewhere.
Right, not very long.
I was in central Manchester. Yeah,
HMV
anyway,
got together.
That's not HMV's gone again. Anyway, yeah, in central Manchester, there's a Piccadilly Records still exists. Yeah, and I got their album, and it's just really. I don't want to say great because it's not a good enough word. It's really fascinating to listen to, because it's got so much diversity within a song, you know, kind of thing. So it's definitely not going to be for everyone. There's a few Gazette videos. I think they're still on my channel. I think I put them. Oh, I'm not sure now. But go and look them up yourself, and you don't need to look at them on my channel. Obviously, go and look up some Gazette videos, and you'll see what I mean. They literally rip through, and then suddenly stop, and out comes this incredibly melodic chorus that's verging on pop music, and it's just that thing that Japanese bands seem to be able to do better than everybody else, is just get all these styles and cram them into a song even. So the Gazette was really a good surprise. Baby Metal is not on my list, by the way, in case anyone's waiting for me to say that, because I knew about them last year, so they just can't, they're banned from my list, I'm afraid. So yeah, the Gazette was it stuck, that's the thing, you know, and I went out and sought out the album to buy, and I wanted the physical thing and all of that sort of thing without trying to import it from Japan for £1 million. So yeah, anyway, the Gazette, there you go.
I have to check that out. I don't know them.
Yeah.
My number 7, interesting enough, this is one of 3 bands that I remember talking to you early in the year, saying there's 3 bands appeared on your channel whose albums that I immediately bought and will probably be my top 3 albums of the year at that point. I think this is like May or June.
Right.
Dislodged since, but this is the first one of those bands, and they were all from Japan. And this is number 7 was Awaken from Abyss by Love Bites, discovered on your channel with that amazing song Shadow Maker. Is it Shadow Maker? Yes.
Now, if anyone had asked me, I would have said you recommended that to me.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
no,
right.
I just got it on your channel.
Because you listed you did recommend a couple of, like, I think Mary's Blood was one, and I think that was one you recommended to me.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And
possibly Bandmate?
Bridea was one of them.
Oh, Bridea. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
Love Bites. Okay. I didn't know Love Bites, and then saw that. I thought, that's tremendous. That
yes, yeah.
The riffs, it's just straight up power metal. And what's good about the album is there's hardly any ballads on it. It's just straight up metal. And the guitar work, the interplay of solos is really top draw. It's just every song's got something about it, and they don't hold back, which is quite good. I was fully expecting like 4 ballads with the speed rocky ones, but it's just out of the window. Let's just rock it as much as we can, and it's what a thrill ride. And there's also a song in there called Liar, which is probably my favourite one, which starts off as if it's a ballad, then just goes off about 100 miles an hour with a super melodic chorus on it.
All right.
Yeah, great album. And so I just got the new one as well, because it's just come out for Europe, I think.
I got sent the new one, legally and officially, kind of thing. I must confess, I have not heard it yet. Yeah, alright, okay. Love Bites. And we get messages in the comments from people saying, you know, thank you for you have introduced me to stuff, you know, this year that I wouldn't have found. And it's a two-way thing, you know, because I didn't know Love Bites were, obviously, and then I put it on, and then you discover it, and people recommend stuff, and it's just this great kind of exchange of things, and out of that falls some great sort of sparkly nuggets that you go, ooh, special, something, you know, something really good. But this did not, my next one did not come like this. My next one, the band themselves sent me a message saying, we've done a new video, please use it, you know. Obviously, you know, give it some exposure kind of thing. And it was this band. It was a band called Third Machine, and in fact I've even got their EP as well. I've got these because they sent them to me, because I did the video 9 Days of War, and it was just, it was one of those, it just had a bit of an effect where, because it's quite, do you know it?
No.
And it was bordering on art, which really should put you off, because that kind of puts me off. You think, oh, it sounds pretentious, but it wasn't. It was just really well done, but quite kind of thoughtful, and sometimes things stick, don't they? You know, you just they a day later it still pops up in your head, whether it's the video or the song or whatever. But sometimes things just stick, and the band contacted me afterwards and said, "Oh, thanks for doing the video. You know, thanks very much. It will send you our stuff." And they sent me a nice letter, actually a written letter with the 2 CDs. But I'm not that easily bought. But it's stuck on my notice board. It stays there forever, that one. But I'm not that easily bought. But I listened to them, and they're just so good. They're just so good. And I did. There's a full review of them on the channel. I did a full album review of them, and I you know, they're still on my iPod months later. I still listen to them whenever they come on. If I've got it on random and one of their songs comes on, it's, you know, it's still really good kind of thing. You know, it wasn't like I had a 1 week love affair with this album and then it kind of dies off, which happens. It's just such good stuff, and I know they're doing another album. So I'm really looking forward to that, guys, if you're watching this. But Third Machine, just a great find that they sent to me, but that doesn't mean anything, you know. It's just, to me, you're just getting recommended a thing, aren't you, out of the blue, whether it's by the band themselves or by somebody who watches the channel. And sometimes things just stick, and then I heard the album and thought, good grief, this is all really good. So yeah, Third Machine's definitely on my list. Cool.
Listen to that then.
Yeah.
What happened to the second and the first machine? Is that just the third incarnation of the band?
Yeah. They're getting through drummers like Spinal Tap, I think, at the moment. So
that's number 6. Interestingly enough, I looked through my top 10. I thought there was a lot of power metal and stuff, and I looked at my last year's top 10, because I do it just for my own amusement at home. And there's a lot of power metal on that as well. So I'm thinking perhaps my tastes are sort of mellowing out a little bit, changing, because there used to be a lot of thrash and death on there, not so much these days. Maybe I just haven't found the right ones, which sort of goes down to my number 6, which is another one discovery from your channel, and the second one of the Japanese ones that have released an album. I thought that's just brilliant.
I'm so influential.
and that's Nell by Eddie Boss.
All right.
Oh, what an album that is! It's raw, it's in your face. The production is not brilliant, but that adds to it. I don't think I'd want it.
Sometimes you can polish things up a bit too much, can't you?
It
kill the feeling.
It's just so much energy, it's so much attitude, some great riffs. There's a bit of arch enemy worship going on it, but I don't care, because I love that side of arch enemy when it was raw and had so much attitude and sass.
Sass.
It's really good.
Sassy.
It's probably a good way of describing it. And the last song is called Death Knell. What a song that is! It's a whole bucket full of attitude, all crammed in 35-40 minutes. And I loved it, and I still listen to it a lot now. And it also,
whereas I did the video, did I like it? I seem to remember that I did, but I didn't go out and seek the album out.
I did, because I thought, well, yeah, and it sort of does say to me that I still like that sort of stuff. It's just I haven't heard enough that they'll let me put it into the top 10. Like, I bought one of the Isegrim albums.
All right, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I've not had it long enough to
she's
make it top 10.
Mad voice,
but I might be checking out more of Isegrim next year. So maybe Isegrim. Maybe.
So your tastes are going. So there you go. You're drifting into.
I think
she's got a black metal voice.
But I think it's the stuff you get exposed to, and stuff that you're in the mood for. Perhaps I'm more in the mood for.
Yeah, sometimes you're in the mood for power metal fun, and sometimes you're in the mood for chaos or whatever, and you have that kind of okay then.
Air Boss, great album that.